Hello again. So this video will cover the second part of managing product images. In this one, I'll show you how to upload multiple images. So we have an algorithm to follow that a user must enter at least one file and cannot upload more than 10 files at a time, and all files must be valid and less than 20 MB, sorry, 2 MB, and they have these formats GIF, PNG formats. Right. So I've given you the file of instructions already, so you know what the algorithm we are following. The first thing that we are going to do is to modify the HTTP post upload method. Okay, so I am here in product images controller where I have this HTTP posted file base. So initially we had like one file to upload. Now we want many files to upload. So we are going to create an array of these files. So creating an array is just, put this name as files. So whatever you give here is actually going to your upload.acs HTML. So this is necessary. The other thing that you have to change is this. So input type is file, name files. So whatever you give as input here, this should correspond to name here. So for now, I'll just change this. Type should be file, ID can be files, and then class form control. Now I'm going back to my product image controller. It's just to show you. I'll go back to that file later. So if file is not null, so file, and definitely when we are using array, that means we have to specify zeros. So we're checking file is not equal to null, and then we will have another check here, which will check if the number of files is less than 10, because that we're going to check is after this, sorry. So the next thing we're going to check is if the user entered at least 10 files, not more than 10. So if files dot length is less than equal to 10. Right, all are validate all of the files. We need to run this validation within a loop, right? Okay. So for each var file in files, if not validate file, for doing this all we have to create two variables. So if not valid files, then we are going to create a boolean variable. All valid is equal to false, and then invalid files, we'll create another variable, invalid files, and we'll just display the files which are invalid dot name. Now these variables I haven't declared, so before doing anything, just declare bool all valid is equal to true. So initially they are true, and the string variable in valid files is equal to, so yeah, all valid is okay. Else So for each we are going to do this. All valid. That means if it's true, and if one file is not valid, we are not going to upload any file. So again, we'll do for each where files in files, we are going to save it. Now we have this try catch block. Try save file to disk, and we are saving all of the files now. Right. Now if is not valid, so if this one fails, then what it has to do, it has to print an error listing. So first of all, file name, all file must be all files must be GIF, blah blah blah, and then we have to add something else here to ambient size. The following files, concatenate those invalid files that is in our string. Are not valid files. Else this, and then else. First else should be please enter less than 10 pies. Right. Right. Anyway, I'll look at the curly braces later. So I am at file error and then add model error 10 times. Please choose a file. After choosing a file, what else we have to do? Yeah. If model state is valid, then I'm making changes here for duplicates. So I'll create a variable bool duplicates is equal to false, boolean variable, and then bool other db error is equal to false, and string which files are duplicate files, and then for each where file in files we have to add product, right? So where product to add is equal to new product image. File name is equal to file name. So when I said, yeah, I remember now. So when I say that you don't have to copy paste, of course you are going to copy paste most of the stuff, but it's not copy pasting per se. You should understand what is happening in the code. So that's what I mean by, do not copy paste the code. So because you have this product to add here, which product you want to add, you just need that product to add variable here. Okay, and then save changes. Sorry, db.save changes. Okay, where are we? So save changes an exception, and if we have found this error, then we have to see, we have to see and join whichever files are duplicate, right? So we'll concatenate the file name with the variable that we created, duplicate files, and then it would be easier for us to throw the error message. Duplicate is true, is equal to true. And then if duplicates are true, either if you want to change this programming style, you want to add the model error here, it's up to you. Yeah, so what we want is basically this kind of error message. But with all the files, right? So file name, and we say all files uploaded. We don't say all files excluded except the files. Oh yeah, for duplicates you can have all the files uploaded already. So just add duplicate files. Yeah, if you do it in a separate message, you will have all the files in duplicate message already. In duplicate files already. So yeah, this is better. Which already exists in the delete them and try again. This one. Please delete and try again if you wish to re-add them, right? After this message, you need to return. Okay. Otherwise, we are going to write. We are going to state something like this. Files to the database. And then return view here. Return view here, and we do not need save changes here because we have already done the save changes. All the errors are gone. Still I have this kind of error coming in. Just need to know where, if there is some The next thing that we want to do is we want to change the upload view. So one change I've already made. So this is files and ID is files, input type is file. Then the other thing that we need to do here is multiple. So multiple is equal to multiple. This is very essential here. Yeah, I think all good. Now we'll run the code. So, oops. Okay. First we'll try to upload more than 10 files. Okay, so our error message came, no files uploaded. If we have duplicate file, no file chosen, because we had duplicate files, but then it should have thrown the message. Here, let's see. So the error was around curly braces, so please check your curly braces before doing anything else. So this is for modal state is valid. It should be till here. I think mine was somewhere here, so that was the issue. Hopefully it will upload multiple files now. Oh, it was uploading files already, but it was returning the view. So try to upload more files. You should come back to this view, right? The other thing that we need to do is, so any files that through an exception because they already exist in the system will be removed from the DB context prior to the next file being processed. So detach the entry from the database, and this is going to be done here. DB dot entry product to add dot state is equal to entity state dot detached. So I'm going to add image 1 again. 1 and 5. Okay, upload. So it does not upload them because they are same files. We can also add a customized error message here. Okay, that's all. Okay, right. If we click on this one and it says the new image, which is not a duplicate. Now if I go to my Server Explorer and refresh it first and then see table data, you should just have the images that we saw on our view. Okay, so this is one thing. Then the next thing in your file is to see how SQL works. So just to generate any kind of error messages or just to trace what is going on, you can use this command code in the beginning, try to write database dot log is equal to SQL. For this one, we have to use directive as well. The directive is diagnostics. Okay, and yeah, it should be good. Your client is there as well. Yeah, it's there. Right. Build. Now I'm going to debug the code. Run in the debugging mode. So I'll just go here, right click and breakpoint, and then debug with debugging. So now this whole thing is done by view, so nothing is happening in the control at the moment. But as soon as I select an image, so select these images, and until I press upload, now my code is in controller upload method. Okay, it has taken these files, and if I hover on file, it should have my first file and the second file there, right? Bool is true in the initially, string files, and then we are going to do database log. Okay, so you have to see this window to actually look at the database log. Okay, is in 10 until we go into database. Files are valid, so this one is false. Valid, yes. Then what do I have to do? We have to save it, right? We're saving on file, not on database at the moment. So just come out of it, then go here until we have db.save file. Oops. Now, see, now it has saved in the database. Insert the image file, value ID, and the from where, from product images, row should be greater than 0, and this is the database tracing that you can see. So that was what I wanted to show you in logging your SQL errors. The other thing that we want to do is we want to maximize the request length. So for that, we are going to do changes in web config file. Web config you should find in the root. Right, here you look for system.web. Okay, so this is my system.web. Now I want to increase the maximum size. So HTTP runtime target frame 4.6.1, and I'll just write maximum queries in, no, maximum request length is equal to 2480. So it should not exceed this. The other thing that I want to change is and then in web server we have so just leave whatever is there and add security. There is no security till now, so just add it, and then request filtering, add it, and then request limits. Maximum allowed content is 71520. That's it. Okay. Because the default maximum limit is 4 MB on request length. So when we want a larger file, we want to increase the limits. So this is what we had to do. The other thing that I want to create is the different error page when the error occurs. So for that, you need to create an empty controller. So for that, you just go to your controller, add controller, and create an empty one, and name this controller as error controller. Oops, did I layout page? Did I use the layout page or not? I think I should have. So yeah, change the name as file upload limit exceeded. We have to generate a view. Add view. It's great, but oh yeah, use layout view, and then add. So it creates this. H2 is also created, but you have to change it to sorry, the files that you have tried to upload total more than 20 MB in size. Please go back and try uploading them one by one, or saving them into a smaller file size or format. So that's it. The last thing that you have to do is go back to your web config and go to your web server, HTTP errors. There is no HTTP errors. Just add them. Here, I guess, before anything else, you can add them as HTTP errors. Error mode is equal to custom because you have customized it. Then remove status code is equal to 404, sub status code is equal to 13. So this change checks the occurrence of 404.13 error. If the error occurs, the user is redirected to new error file upload limit exceeded view. 404.13 is the number of errors thrown when the maximum request length allowed is exceeded. So for every error, there is a number that you can find out, and then you can have validations and error messages accordingly. So for these kinds of project, we have to replicate it first in order to know what is happening, and then gradually changing things and seeing what can happen. But essentially the programming part is same, the conditional looping and stuff like that, but you should know what algorithm you want to follow. So whenever you are going to program, first know your algorithm and then try to implement it with the environment that you have, and it should be good for you. This seems like a difficult replication as well, but believe me, if you do it, you will be in good. So this is what I had for you guys today. I just don't know if I have this large file. Yeah, so I'll try to upload my kids' pictures just because I want to see if this error message comes in. You won't be able to see them, I guess. Just that. Yeah, how many pictures are selected? 8 upload. Yeah, so this error message does come if your upload is more than 20 MBs. Righto. So next video will associate images with the product. Thank you guys.